Great. So coming to the next topic is regarding when you have the customers using app, so then they are your users. So how do we segment these particular users? All the marketers do it. They will segment the users as per the usage of the app and how much maybe they are paying for the products and services the app is offering. So to take this further and discuss this more in detail, I would like to start with Bhagyashree itself. How are basically these users segmented for these apps?
When we think of user or when we think of segmentation, how do I design the segmentation? There are two things. One is first I design something considering my research and study. Okay, so that's going to work out successfully. And the other thing is that you get a response, a set of data and a response from the customer after the campaign is running. So and when you compare, it is completely different from what we had thought. For example, the best example for this would be TikTok, a Chinese product that was he thought of making it for the youth of country or youth of the world who want to spend time on their side gigs like the passion on music or maybe fashion or ramp walk, something that they couldn't do in as couldn't take it as career, but they want to do it on TikTok. But they did not know even the people who are above 40, above 50, above 60 are also into it. So it is something where consumer himself is giving you the audience. He's giving you a data as to I am also interested in this product, which you hadn't thought about when you're developing or when you are in fact marketing or setting a budget towards this set of demography of this age, of this career, of this geography and profession, all of it. So we also need to look at it. That is one aspect of how the like you said, the audience would be designed. And another thing, we need to make a lot of research here is to first understand what our competitors are doing. If at all there is a competitor in the market, then what is he doing? Because I am new to this market, I need to understand the audience, which can go with couple of A/B testing. Like you might have two different campaigns with having a design or design for audience optimized in a way. One is maybe for professionals, the other one is for maybe business people. One is for this kind of people who fall under this age, and the other one is people who fall maybe under this age. So A/B testing is something that really works well for the startups because the companies who are in business from a very long time, they would have their audience already set up and they have made their mind that this is my audience because they have the data backed up that a lot of positive response is coming from this set of people, this set of TG. But for startup, it is important that we do trial and error, because when we talk about growth engine in terms of app marketing, growth engine is about keeping your engine wheel working all the time with different A/B testing. Here the concept is to run, fail, run, succeed, run, fail, run, succeed. Okay, so we fail, but it is the important thing is to first test whether it's working or not. What if it works? So when we want to grow our revenue, our installs, our profit, then we have to also understand how the growth marketing works, how I can keep my engine moving all the time. What kind of segmentation can I do? If depending on what is the target, what is the human behavior or the consumer behavior of that particular target and the region. So this is one important aspect that every marketer has to keep in mind. And another one is about budgeting, because social media would take a little less budget one when compared to Google AdWords, right? Because Google AdWords is expensive, that is why the startups wouldn't risk taking it very initially. They start with social ads because it has organic, it has paid marketing, but again, it has for a lesser amount. And when the decision is driven in because of budget, then we also have to keep in mind what is the budget and how can I make use of this budget on different platforms, because we are testing right now. So which platform is going to work for us, we do not know, because every platform has a different audience. For example, if we take real estate, which is not an app, but any real estate and come up with an app. Okay, but let's take that as an example. Then Google AdWords work the best when compared to any other social ads. I mean, the paid marketing on social media. So it is important for us to also understand what platform is going to work for my audience, for which we again need to segment audience in different formats of different age and profession and income, and see which is going to work out. And depending on the report that we're gonna get about the positive response, if not installs, but we at least have to get positive response, which means a customer is at least going and clicking the link, if not installing. That is a push, that is an understanding that he is interested. So that is what we marketers do, right? Rest of the things are taken care by salespeople. But what our thing is to compel and drive the customer to my product and to my service. So if that is my job, then I need to understand how can I do the job. For that, if required, then let's do the ABCD testing and stick to one that's going to work for us in that period of, the age of the app. If it is too early, then maybe one a platform that's going to work for us might not work maybe 5 or 10 years down the lane. Maybe my customer would take a transition from this particular platform to another one. Like people took transition from Facebook to Instagram now. A lot of youth is on Instagram, and a lot of people who are above 40 are on Facebook, right? So that also one thing we need to understand, for which we should keep a follow up on the behavior of the customer on all these platforms, which means we should be updated all the time if we are working in marketing department.
Diksha, would you like to specify more into the communications that are required as per the segments?
So, yes, Nikhil. First of all, it is important to know why exactly a marketer or a person being an app owner. It is very important to know who your user is, because that's what is meant by segmenting, or that's how segmenting helps you, right? So segmenting is basically filtering out all those people, um, or all those users who have just clicked on your app, and to know who exactly are your users, right? Who are the ones, who are the customers who clicked on them and then became your users. So for example, we always have in traditional marketing some diamond customers, some gold, some silver, some platinum customers. We always segment them. And why do we do so? To identify which exactly are our users who are giving me the most of the revenue, who are giving me the most of the audience, the brand awareness, or anything else that is required from my end, right? So basically, how segmenting helps is it helps us to know the user behavior, who uses the app the most, and which gives me the most of my conversions, which helps me to accordingly identify what their requirements are. And why it is more important is because I would exactly in this way know and create my engaging content. So whenever I create a marketing strategy or content strategy, in that case my first point would be, what exactly is my user segment, what is their demographics, which place do they belong to, what do they think, what are their interests, their age, gender, everything I would take into account before moving on for any marketing strategy. And that is the base for any marketing strategy to work. So immediately, my first way of doing any marketing or creating any marketing strategy is to segment my users. Now, it is important to identify and accordingly create that. For example, I'd like to give an example over here. For example, we have two very big apps in the food market, like Zomato and Culfit. So if I start putting more money on Zomato in terms of selling very healthy food, I might not get their regular customer base or the good customer base. But CultFit, they both deal in food, right? But Zomato is preferably used for any sort of food which is available in the market, each and everything that is there, right? But CultFit provides only and only healthy food. So they have exactly segmented their market. They know what their customers are. If they start selling any street food on their app, it would not work because their market is completely different. So, and that is one of the basic reasons why most of the marketing strategies fail, because we as marketers or owners, we fail to understand the interest of the users that we are targeting. We fail to understand what are the bottlenecks that might be an issue, and where optimization is required. With the changing audience and the changing interest, it is very important to keep up with the pace, the kind of thoughts that they're having. Now, how do we actually segment the market? It could be on the basis of demographics, it could be on the basis of their age, gender, interest, the kind of technologies they are using. For example, PUBG, when it was running in the market quite well, Indian market, they identified, or any game app, they usually, what they do is, as soon as they get to know that the users are well acquainted with the maps that they're using, they launch a new map, they launch a new version immediately, because they have to do that. If they do not do it, then the user might be very quick to switch to another app which might be so interesting to them now. So that's how segmenting helps, and that's how you understand the user's mentality. That's it, I would like to add.
Great. I think that was a great point about when the marketers have segmented their users properly, then they can come to know so many different avenues of earning money for the company in terms of like what you said for cult fit. So they already have those segments of people using it for fitness. And then you can really identify that, we can even sell food, like have some tie-ups of some food delivery, which is healthy food, because the people who are professionally into fitness then will be also using cult fit and all, and then there is a big market for that. So I think that was a very good point, because the segment, if you can do it like you, there's so your mind opens up for the marketer for how you can have different even business models for your particular company.